Good morning, everybody, and thank you all so much for joining us. This is our live stream, which just is a reminder to all of our shareholders. First of all, thank you all for your support. It's thanks to you that we're still continuing to bring our great tech to market. These live streams are really about some of the investors that have reached out to us, some of our shareholders that have reached out to us and said that they'd really like to understand more about our tech, about our people, about our facilities, about our strategies. So as we go through each of them, we recognize that not every one of the live stream appeals to every one of our shareholders. We are getting a bunch of incoming emails, requests, different things on our social that help us to put these topics together. So remember, again, the live streams are about taking you a deeper look inside and giving you that information as we know it. So today's live stream is about the cell driver technology, our battery control systems, and how it applies to the core competencies of Exro and our power electronics. So with that, I'm going to jump on in. Power electronics. So this is kind of just a nice little reminder for everybody. Power electronics are in everything. And as we transition to an electrified world, the ability to utilize power electronics throughout the ecosystem is really the backbone of electrification. Our core competency, our core expertise is a technology platform that introduces new control for batteries and motors. So that core competency goes across all of our products and everything that we do at Exro. Hopefully you've all seen our press release this morning. I'm super thrilled and excited with the team to have passed the next stage of our UL certification. I recognize, and I'm that mixed bag of emotions with everybody else out there, that we didn't get all the way through like what we had anticipated. The minute we saw that we had no longer the ability to continue to mitigate and pull it back in, we pushed out to the fourth quarter to be as transparent as we could for you. There's no, this isn't going to happen. There's no upsetness going on. This is normal as we're going through certification. There was a combination, just to let everybody know. There was a little bit of redesign work that we needed to do as we really can control, not just manage. And with control of gas and lithium, you have to make sure that you're venting out. So there was a little bit of redesign that we had to do, which led to some HVAC components that we have coming in. We did all kinds of mitigation. We did all kinds of things to get internally certified. And then we layered that with delays from UL, and we just feel like it's going to be pushed out of this quarter. So we're putting that out as early as we can. But we passed another major phase. So it's still a big accomplishment. It doesn't stop our commercialization. Doesn't stop our start of production, doesn't stop our demos from getting up on our buildings. So that UL stamp will get on, sometime before the end of this year. So thank you all for your support on that. Congratulations to the team for another major milestone. As you think towards our patent, and again in the press release, we've now seen our patent granted on our energy storage unit. This has been years of work from Eric and his team. And so congratulations to the entire battery control team, Eric, Spiros, Tung, and everybody. Thank you to all our shareholders. Getting granted is a major accomplishment for Exro. And, I see myself less and less companies coming to market with actual granted patents. So now Exro has granted patents on our motor control and on our battery control. And so as you think about the product offerings, I'm going to take you back up to technology platform. Motor control, everything on land with wheels is traction. That's what we're focused on right now. Yes, we can go into aviation. Yes, we can go into industrial. Yes, yes, yes. Everywhere that there is a need for torque and speed is a potential future market. But our goal is focus, and our goal is return on investment, and our goal is unlocking the most shareholder value that we can. So we're focused on e-mobility, traction control, commercial through to passenger vehicle, off-highway light duty. Our battery control is stationary battery control right now, but essentially it's control of a battery, which we're going to talk about. Our first target product is commercial industrial. Again, we can scale up to utility, down to residential, and everything in between. But our first target market is commercial industrial. Our principle is always scalability and flexibility. So both products can scale and be tailored as we need for commercialization. Okay, so again, remember all, we're live again. I'm sitting a little stiller in the room, but I promise you I'm live. So if you see my eyes glancing a certain way, those that follow our social would have seen the setup this morning. So I've got a couple of screens going and a couple of our marketing team helping us. So what you see on the screen behind me, beside me, is actually the battery control and the different end uses. So what we wanted to point out here is that the granted patent that we've just put in our press release is for the core technology, the ability to control a battery cell through power electronics. The first product to market, the first product to realize this technology is in an energy storage unit. But the behind the scenes is actually the inverters inside. That means that we could go into first life, we could be inside of a vehicle. As we did our business planning, what we found was that the higher cost of the bill of material, because you're putting more sensors when you're going at a cell level than at a module or a pack level, means that there's particular niche applications that are going to be the best commercialization avenue for us. The first one being energy storage. The next one, as we think about first life going into a vehicle, probably it would be something like a Class 8 hydrogen truck, where you want that ability to swap out, to not have a DC to DC. There's a bunch of things that draw down your bill of material. The bigger takeaway for you as, either new shareholders that are looking at us for the first time or existing shareholders that have supported us for a long time, is that the core technology is still the same. It's a battery control that can go into multiple form factors over the years to come. So as we look at kind of why, how did we get here? Again, the underlying technology is the ability to control the cells themselves. On the left page where you see some red cells and some blue cells, and it says centralized BMS. That stands for Battery Management System. Monitoring and managing a battery system is not new. We did not invent that. We're not patenting that. We're not making a new variation of that. We have truly come up with a way to control the battery cell and isolate it versus just monitor it and manage it. So as you look to the right-hand side, for me, it might be the left-hand side when you're looking, the state of health, and you see all the blue cells. This is the way I want you to imagine it. When you think about battery control, you've got a pack. Think of that like your suitcase. Inside your pack, you've got your module. If you like to pack very neatly like me, you're gonna have little containers. Those are your modules. Inside those modules are your cells. Your cells are like you'd see a Duracell battery or an energy battery, and there's multiple in them. That's the graphic that you see on the screen. Batteries, any batteries, your phone battery, your iPad battery, your car battery, reacts to how it's being charged and discharged. You're charging it, you're driving it, it's getting degraded, varying by the individual application. So you get what's called a healthy cell and an unhealthy cell. Much like people, cells don't like extreme heat, they don't like extreme cold, and every one of them is different. So managing them is the key to a safer system in the future. So as we kind of come forward from there, why did we think of battery control? Are we losing our focus on our motor control? Do we not know what we're doing? I could give you a whole bunch of things, because we thought about solving a problem. And we thought about this problem 2.5 years ago when it was first bubbling up in our R&D sandbox. And what we thought was, we are putting our hand and we are participating in the electric transition. It is not an if, it's a when things go electric. And we see shifts in the market with it going slower, but it's happening. And there's lots of great coverage on what we need to do from an infrastructure perspective to handle the grid here in North America. In other areas, they're not having those problems. So it's also regional. And so we thought about all these batteries that are going to end up with no home, whether that's they end up in a landfill or they get recycled or they just end up, sitting in their vehicles. I encourage all of our Canadian shareholders to lean towards the old recycle, repurpose, reuse. You reuse first, recycle second. We want to follow that. And we don't want to fall into like what happened with plastics, where it's going in the wrong place. So that was kind of the thinking as we, Eric, myself, and the rest of the executive team years ago, thought about what we could do to control a battery so that you could repurpose it. Now, fast forward a little bit, and we have the big players like Tesla saying that we're actually going to end up with a shortage of battery supply. So we're also solving another issue with second life and supply. So our energy storage unit, the underlying technology is a battery control. The finished energy storage unit is a solution to repurpose these batteries to go into the field as helping with supply chain and helping these batteries have an end of life before they get recycled. And I'm not going to go into how a battery can be reused, what that process is, what it means when it's reused. There's lots on the internet. I encourage you to do your own due diligence on that versus me coming. If you want more information on that, feed into our marketing team and we'll do another session with that. But for now, I'm going to kind of keep going through the benefits of our system. And so this is a look inside. But again, the topic really today is how does it tie into our core competencies? So what we're showing here is the inside of the energy storage unit, the cell driver. Okay, the cell driver represents the actual energy storage unit, and the core competency is the electronic. So you can see there that there's 3 inverters inside that energy storage unit. The 2 things that are unique to us and that are part of our value proposition is that not only we can use second life batteries, meaning they come out of a vehicle and get repurposed, we can mix the cells in development, making them a hybrid unit and really helping that transition to have new and old or different chemistries. Right now with our energy storage unit, we're using an LFP battery. It's a commercial industrial. It's got 3 inverters and it's all integrated. So the cost point is quite good because we're reducing the electronics and utilizing a first life in these ones. So again, boards built in the same factory, facilities are the same. We do have a dedicated battery team because it's a different set of expertise, but the core competency, the heart of that energy storage unit, 3 inverters, 3 sets of power electronics. As we thought about it coming to market and we realized that there was a growing demand because, you know, the impact on the infrastructure is so much more than anybody thought. We've had politicians and you know, different experts in the space talking about it for a long time, but now we're actually living it. And we're seeing customers and people struggling to get connected into the infrastructure. So we really thought about that and we thought about what's going to come next. We're all about the technology. We're all about power electronics and control. Like I told you, we're kind of control freaks that way. We really want to think about the controls. So as we thought about that, we reached out to Rebuild Manufacturing. They've been a phenomenal manufacturing partnership for us. A lot of people have asked, well, what does that mean? What do you mean partnership? And so what we mean is we build the electronics. We send those electronics, those inverters, to Rebuild, who completes the energy storage unit, assembles it, tests it, and helps us to get it to market. And it's been a phenomenal partnership for us. We've really enjoyed working with them. They've been working with us and we've been working with them. And we're on track to start production this year. Even with the UL, we'll still get our demos out. So we're on track to start that production. So it's been a great partnership. It also helps our balance sheet because they take on the inventory and the supply chain for this product line. So it means that we're not draining unnecessary funds and we're running lean and mean to get to market. So why is our energy storage unit the answer? What's the difference? Why, there's lots of energy storage units on the market. What makes ours better? The high level, the best way for me to explain it to you is that in order to control a cell versus manage a cell, in order to isolate that cell, it means that essentially we're predicting and controlling the problem before it happens. So no, I can't stop a lithium battery from going on fire. But yes, I can predict that the potential for the fire to happen is going to occur because I see that heat. And then my electronics and my software, my hardware can kick in and basically it does a commissioning on and off. And it feeds an unhealthy to a healthy. This would make a much safer state of health and state of charge. So we have that ability to increase safety. We're reducing the cost because we're combining electronics. Phase 1 is what we see today with our commercial industrial unit, like you see on the screen. Phase 2 would be something that pulls the hybrid solar right into the energy storage. That's where the market is going. The best place for storage is with solar right now. So as we go solar plus storage, then the more electronic that you can streamline, the better the cost positioning is going to be. So we're working through that right now. We're empowering adoption. It's an easier system. If you walk through any energy storage show these days, what you'd see is multiple boxes to get everything that we've put inside our fully integrated unit. You have the box that controls talking to your grid. It's pulling in the data. You have the box that controls the decision making. And then you have the batteries themselves, and then it's all working together. Many times you'll see that in 2 separate boxes or sometimes 3 separate boxes. We've put it all within one box. It's a lot simpler. That raw material is going to be a big deal. Our mining needs to catch up to the demand that we're going to have. So the ability to repurpose is going to be probably one of the things that makes the electrification transition happen. So that's really important that we play a piece in that repurposing. And we see that it's relevant. Our demand coming in off of our website that our teams are fielding, Livio and Spiros and others, is there. And so what we're doing right now is picking the best application. The reality is that not every application needs storage. I know people will challenge that and people will think it's not true, but if you're not drawing a lot of energy, your return on your investment isn't going to be there as a business or as a homeowner. So there is applications where you're drawing more energy that makes more sense right now. And so as we think to what that means, there was a link to one of our recent case studies. It's also available on our website for those of you that didn't see the press release yet. What we shared is one example. There's 2 case studies on the website right now. We're working through more of them. It's quite a lot of work to get through them. The reason why it's quite a lot of work is while they are simulated studies, they are real test data. They're only simulated because we're waiting for the UL to get up on the buildings. So this is an actual chain restaurant with over 50 locations in just the West Coast. This is a chain restaurant that approached us. We have not won this. I'm not suggesting that we've won this, just to be clear. We're optimistic that we're working through it. They gave us their actual utility usage. They had increased their utility usage by 4 times a month in their payments. With our energy storage unit, they're able to reduce that and see a payback on the energy storage unit in under 4 years. That's very impactful. That matters to a business. This reflects on their bottom line. So we're looking for applications that are best suited for this for our first rollouts. That kind of ties to where our partnerships come from. Why did we go out and get partners? You would have seen that press release about 3 to 4 months ago is when we've started and when Livio has kind of pushed out and brought in his network to get us these partnerships. We chose building and solar integrators. The reason for that is, again, trying to run as lean as we can. This gives us sales team out in the market, feet on the ground. But you need to train those feet on the ground. They are offering the complete solution. So in most cases, they're out there offering the solar, the financing, the storage, or building controls, financing, and storage. 2 of our probably biggest examples. We targeted commercial industrial because we believe that from a first to market perspective, it's an underserved area. It's where businesses need to see a return on investment. This isn't a lifestyle choice. We back that with the IRA giving some pretty nice credits to go energy storage. And we felt that we could accelerate our time to market once we have our certification. We've seen that being validated in our requests and in how customers are coming to us. So all of these partners are being trained right now behind the scenes. We're traveling to each of their offices, training them locally, so that by the time we hit December, we're taking orders, is our hope. And then before I go, and I know it's been a quick and fast one, but I wanted to kind of walk everybody through that, think about what we're doing. Again, you can reach out to us on our website. You can find the link for getting information. If you haven't signed up on our website, the best way to get updates, we had a lot of shareholders in the last few days reaching out and saying they didn't know how to get onto this live stream. So we're using social to do it, and we're using our connection through the website. So when you register on the website, you'll get a note telling you the information to connect. Those are the 2 best ways to get non-material information. All of our look insides are sharing what we feel is what we're being asked about the most, whether that's through our website, through our emails, or directly to Daryl or I. These are things that shareholders are asking us. So again, while I understand this isn't for everybody, I promise you that it's for the majority. That's where we're getting all of the requests from. The second thing is I know a lot of people wanted me to bring other people on with me, like I had Simon and the one live stream before. I've had others like Daryl and Eric. This week, a lot of us happen to be traveling to different things that are happening for milestones within the company. Eric's commissioning and starting some testing for one of our milestones under one of our NDA partners. That's on track. That's not new information. Spiros is traveling and speaking at a trade show, which you'll see at some of our other updates on our social sites. Daryl's in town meeting with some of our clients that have come into town. And so we just had a lot going on this week. But I did want to reach out in combination to the press release so that everybody did understand that while the UL certification is slightly delayed, it's nothing that we're concerned about. It's still plugging along the same order. So it's 3 phases is the best way to think about it. Phase 1 we passed early on. Phase 2 we just passed. We're in the last stage now. Just like every other stage, we will pass this. But it's just a matter of getting our slot at UL, not getting pushed, and finishing and getting the last piece of the HVAC in. And so the last slide before I kind of go back and focus on the day-to-day and getting things done is our start of production. This is another reminder that where the control ties into our core competency is, again, we're building the boards in-house. That's where the majority of the patent sits. That's what's important. That's where the quality matters. Same line, same facility, same team, same brick and mortar, no additional investment. The line was designed by Simon to be what's called a flexible automation line, meaning that we can flex between our different products as we see demand come in. We can run up to 3 shifts without changing anything, without any further CapEx investment. So as you're looking across the gamut of stocks that are out there right now, we invested early on. We bet on ourselves thanks to your support years ago. And while it's later than I know a lot of you would want, it is coming out exactly as we've promised. We haven't shifted. We haven't changed focus. We haven't changed core competency. We've reacted to the market. We've reacted to regulatory bodies. We've written out more things than a startup should have to write out. And every one of us is still here as committed as we were on day one. So the facility that backs us is prepping right now for start of production. We are definitely excited and we are on track and we're ready to rock and roll for the end of this quarter. And I look forward to having you share on our social sites as we come out and announce our start of production in the next month. Thank you all for your support today. I hope I've given you a little bit of a look inside how we tie together, and let us know what you'd like to know more about. Thank you very much and have a great week, everybody.